Hey guys, how's it going? It's Molly. I'm here today to film a 3 looks, 1 palette and review of the Lunar Beauty Eternal Eclipse palette. This is not a new product at all. I want to say this released, I don't know, sometime within the past year probably, but I couldn't tell you when. And I did not pick it up on launch, but I am picking it up now. So I figured I might as well film some looks in case this is something that you guys are interested in and want some inspo. Here's what the palette looks like. I personally was really drawn to the fact that there's these just grungier tones up top, but then you also have some neutrals. It feels like a very versatile palette. Like you can do very natural makeup and extremely like sultry and sexy makeup at the same time. So I appreciate that. And yeah, that's what I was drawn to. I also have heard great things about the Lunar Beauty formula and have wanted to try it for a while. So, this palette retails for $48. If you go on their website, I want to say, I'm trying to remember where they're available. I want to say they're available with Beautylish, but no, Beauty Bay. I don't know about Beautylish, but they're available on their website also. And that's how I purchased this. I actually got this as well as the Moon Prism Blush palette, which was recently back in stock. In fact, this is what I went on their website to purchase. So I went there to get this and then kind of got sidetracked by this. So anyways, if you order from their website, you can sign up for emails just like most brands, and you'll get a percentage off. I think it's 10%. So I went ahead and treated myself. It is June, it's my birthday month, and I apparently have a hard time telling myself no in June. So yeah, but why don't we go ahead? I'm gonna start out with some swatches of the palette, and then we'll move on to the 3 looks, and I'll give my final thoughts at the end. Okay. Here is the top row swatched. I personally am very drawn to this shade here. It's this like hazy lavender with a blue flip. It's really, really pretty. I feel bad dipping into these mattes because they have this beautiful embossing on it of a sun or a moon and stars. And I don't want them to disappear. Okay, there are the matte shades swatched. They're gorgeous, and these aren't the only these aren't the only matte shades either, but that is the second row, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's been a minute since I filmed. I think it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since I filmed anything, so I'm a little bit rusty, but yeah, super smooth, very pigmented. I'm super excited. Oh my god. Okay, it's just makeup, Molly. It's just makeup. Okay, and then this last shade that I'm swatching, it's called Night Sky. It's a matte with glitter. Not super crazy about mattes with glitter, but I feel like it's gonna be pigmented enough that it'll be a good like liner shade. So anyways, there's the bottom row. This blue, oh yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go wash off my swatches, wash off my swatches, thank you very much. And I will be right back and we'll get started with the first look. I'm also gonna zoom you guys in so that you can see what I'm doing to my eyeballs. Okay, so for the first look, I am for sure gonna be using the shade Meteor right on my lid. So I think to start things out, I'm gonna take Rose Thorn. It's this kind of mauve-y mid-tone matte. That's how I would classify it, I don't know. My favorite brush is actually not up here with me, so I'm gonna use a different brush. We'll see how it goes. Hang on, I just realized the palette still has that like cling film stuff on it. Oh, that is satisfying. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. What? Okay, don't get too excited. Don't get too excited. You have no idea. This could be complete crap. It's not. It is not complete crap. I know it's not. But that shade, yeah, A+++. That is beautiful. So as usual, I'm kind of keeping my pigment on the outer portion and sweeping it in. I feel like that's just what works best for my eye shape. Then haphazardly sweeping it down below. I have not done the rest of my face yet, as I'm sure you can tell. Wow, this is just incredible. Dang. Then this is just a clean brush that I'm using to, like, I don't know, help it blend, even though it's blending really well on its own. Completely unnecessary step. Okay, now I'm going to take Earthbender. It's this deep, rich, chocolatey brown. Absolutely stunning shade. I'm gonna focus this on the outer portion of my eye. So the outer lid, up into the outer crease, down along the outer lower lash line, out here to whatever this is. And then I'm taking that initial brush and helping to kind of marry those two shades together. This one is maybe not blending quite as well, but it's not bad. And a lot of times for deeper, more pigmented shades, it is a little bit trickier to get them to blend. So that's not a Lunar Beauty problem. That's just a these pigments problem. And it's not even really a problem. It just means you take a little bit of extra time and you don't rush. And now I'm going back into the initial shade Rose Thorn and sweeping that up into my crease a little bit. Okay, so that's kind of the base for the eye look. I'm gonna do the other eye and I'll be right back. Girl, that's so pretty. Mattes don't normally like knock my socks off. Normally I'm just like, okay, yeah, that's good. These are knock your socks off mattes. These are so good, so good. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Also, can we take a minute and just admire my sweet hairdo? I'm segueing to hair. These are my postpartum bangs. So I'm very excited for them to grow more so that we aren't left with this weird floof. I have a weird floof and I don't know what to do about it. So it's fine. Okay, so now I am going to go ahead and take Meteor, this guy here, all over my lid. To do that, I'm going to initially lay it down with my ring finger. This is pretty typically how I handle this situation. This is such an unusual shade. I don't even really know what to think of it. Anyways, as I was saying, it reminds me somewhat of Glass Bowl from ColourPop. Just like all of these different colors within it that create this effect. I mean, I can definitely see blue, purple, and pink, some gold. It's stunning. I don't even know that I need to use a wet brush. I was going to, but I'm not going to. I don't want to mess with perfection. On my outer V, I'm going to use this shade here. I think it's called Night Sky. Yeah. Just a little bit. Just a skosh. Wow, that is pigmented. Can I just a skosh it? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my face off camera and I will be, I will be back to show you the final look for look number 1. Hopefully while I'm off camera, I'll learn how to speak. That'd be great. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look for look number 1. Sorry. Do you ever just like get your makeup done and it makes you feel real giddy? That is how I'm feeling right now. For my foundation, I think for the base products, I'll just keep it consistent. For the foundation, I'm using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh. I'm using 2 concealers, the Dose of Colors concealer, whatever it is, and also the Moira Beauty concealer. This one's a bit light, this one's a bit dark. Together, they're good. I've got the highlight shade from this Pure Bronze and Brighten as my highlighter. I did dip into the Moon Prism blush palette. I used the shade here. This is the shade Pink Moon. That is really, really pretty. I'm a big fan. And then for my bronzer, I have on the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in the shade Forever Sunkissed. Sorry, that took me a minute to like read it upside down. Whatever. For my lower lash line, I did use a liner. I used the Marc Jacobs Jazzberry liner. It's purple and metallic and really pretty. So I felt like that kind of played off of that like purple haze shade that we have on the lid. For the lower lash line, I went ahead, I did not use that. I used Earthbender, this deep matte. I smudged that everywhere. And then I used Night Sky, just kind of focus that along the like as close to the lash line as possible, and mostly the outer like half or so. So that's what we did for the lower lash line. We meaning me. That's what I did. Okay. Let's go ahead and jump into look number 2. Okay, you guys, I am back for look number 2. Don't mind the wet hair. I'm kind of in a rush, so it is what it is. But I think for this look, I want to do a halo eye. So to start things off, I'm going to go in with the shade Sandstorm right here. It's just a nice sort of mid-tone brown. Ooh. I'm gonna take a clean brush and just help that to blend out. I normally wait a bit longer before applying eyeshadow after I've put my eyeshadow base on, or primer, sorry, can't think. And I went in way too fast. So it is a little bit patchy today, but I don't think that's the shadow. I think that's user error. I'm taking a little bit of setting powder just to help blend that out a little bit here. Okay. Same thing, other eye. Yeah, this one's blending a lot better because I waited longer. Okay, now I'm gonna see how this goes, but I'm thinking I want to take Lagoon, this kind of navy blue shade. And I'm going to take this on the outer and inner V, or corner. Okay, and then we're just kind of working that in the crease a little bit to help darken that up. This shade is maybe a little bit more patchy than the others, but nothing horrible. I'm gonna try a different brush and see if I can get this to apply a little smoother. I don't know, sometimes certain brushes just can't do the job. we're struggling just a little bit here with this shade. I don't know. It's like kind of, I don't know. It's like it's not wanting to interact with the brown that I laid down. It's like always one eye that behaves and the other one that just can't get it together, it seems like. This eye is doing well. This eye is kind of a hot mess, but it'll be okay. Okay, and then I am going to go over the dark blue with this shade here. It's Deep Sea. And I'm just gonna take it on my finger because that's what I find easiest. At least for the outer portion. For the inner portion, I will use a shader brush because it'll work better. Okay, so shader brush. I think for the center of my lid, I'm gonna go into Gold Dust. It just seems like it might be a little bit more wearable than some of these others, I guess. Although Flare could be. Okay, well. Having kind of a peacock moment here. Then I think to lighten the very center of my lid up a little bit, I'm going to go into the Champagne Shimmer called Flare. And I'm just gonna tap this on the center. Like that. Those are layering pretty well together. I like it. So it's definitely looking a little bit messy at the moment. So I am going to take a blending brush and just kind of go over where the shimmer meets the matte. And that seems to help quite a bit. So, okay, I really need to clean up this outer corner. So I will be right back. Okay, guys, so here is the final look for look number 2. It is just a nice little halo eye. Although it isn't maybe quite as traditional as a halo eye typically is. For the lower lash line, I went a little bit, a little bit rogue. Usually with a halo eye, for the lower lash line, you kind of repeat what you did for the upper lash or upper lid. So you would use whatever matte you used in your crease, you'd kind of use that all over, and then you'd use the darker shades on the outer portion and the inner portion of your lash line. And sometimes even the shimmer right in the center. But what I ended up doing is I did take the matte all over my lower lash line, and I took Lagoon just all along the lash line instead of like separating it. And I also took this ColourPop liner. This is in the shade Spare Time. It's just a green liner. Looks like that. It's kind of a sage green. This is one from the Raw Beauty Christie collab. So I can come a little bit closer so you guys can see the liner. It's not like super obvious, but I feel like it helps to ground the look a little bit. I personally feel like adding Flare to the very center of my lid really helped to brighten this a little bit and make it maybe a little bit more wearable for me. We are going to church. Sometimes I feel like, I don't know, wearing this much makeup to church makes me a little bit uncomfortable, but not enough to like not do it. I don't know. Also, really quick before we move on to look number 3, all of my base products are the same except the blush. I chose a different shade from the Moon Prism palette. I went with Spacey. So far, so good with this palette. Like I've used, let's see, yesterday I used this one and today I used this one. I really enjoy the formula so far. And then for lips, I wanted to keep it kind of low maintenance. Whenever I have a more high maintenance look on my eye, I prefer a gloss, honestly. Like, I would say a light matte liquid lipstick, but even that is a little bit too high maintenance for me personally when it comes to a more dramatic eye. So I've got the Dose of Colors gloss in the shade Almond Butter. So that is it for look number 2. Let's go ahead and jump into look number 3. Okay. Okay guys, so for look number 2, I want to take the shade here. It is the shade Dusk, and I'm going to use that as my transition shade. I feel like my lighting is probably a little weird here today. I'm filming a lot earlier than I normally do, so I don't have quite as much natural lighting. So if it looks wonky, I apologize. For this look, I want to do another halo eye, but I want to use the brown tones. Okay, then I'm going to take Summer Sky, the shade here, to deepen up the crease a little bit. And then on a smaller brush, I'm going to take the dark brown shade Earthbender, and I'm going to place this along the outer portion of my lid. And the inner portion. I like this brush for this a lot. This is the Sigma E54. It just fits in there really, really well. Okay, and then I want to use the shade here. It's called Desert Sky. I'm going to use that along the inner portion. So I'm kind of overlaying that Earth Bender shade with this. Okay, and then for the center of my lid, I'm going to go in with Gold Dust, the shade here. It's the same shade that I used in look number 2. I think it's just really, really pretty. I felt like I lost some of the matte shade that I used to deepen up the crease, so I went ahead and added a little bit more of that back. Okay, and then just to add a little bit of something else, I'm going to go in with Adamantium here. No idea if I'm pronouncing that right. And I'm just going to lightly tap the very center. Oh, that might have been a mistake. This shade is really kind of weird. It's kind of fluffing everywhere. So I don't know. This look might have been better without adding this shade, honestly. Okay. It just adds a little punch, and I like that. And with a clean brush, I'm just kind of working to smooth out the edges with that. Okay, I'm going to pop off and do the rest of my face, and then I'll be back to show you guys the final product of look number 3. Okay, you guys, so here is the finished look for look number 3. I am pleasantly surprised. I honestly thought that by adding Adamantium to the center of the lid, it was going to take on this weird look. But that is not the case. It ended up just really brightening the eye, and it seemed to combine with Gold Dust really, really effortlessly. And it's created its own unique shade. So super stoked on that. For the lower lash line, I took two of the mattes that I used up top. I used the Summer Sky. I used this shade. I buffed it all along the lower lash line. And then Earthbender, I took this on a smaller brush and took it closer to the actual lash line itself. For eyeliner, sorry, the baby woke up while I was finishing my makeup, and he is hanging out here in his high chair, ready for breakfast. What are you doing? Oh, did you want this? Here you go. Take it. Okay, for eyeliner, I've got the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Eye Crayon in the shade Black in my waterline. It just, I don't know, it just felt like adding a little bit of something to the look. Totally not necessary. It's a little bit dramatic. Definitely a little bit dramatic for a Monday morning at the office, which is where I'm headed here shortly. So for blush this time, I used the shade Stargaze right here. It's just kind of a cooler tone. I don't know why I chose, it's not really cool tone. It's more warp tone now that I'm seeing it on my face. But yeah, so far I'm really loving these products. I am going to play around with them both some more. I want to try every single shade before I give a review. And so far I've used every shade except for the two shades that intimidate me the most. So I'm gonna play around with these grays probably tomorrow. I'm not gonna film that look, but I will do a look and I will come back and give you guys my final thoughts on both of these products. Again, with the blush palette, I've used 3 of the 6 shades, so I'm going to use the other 3. Is this a bronzer? Nope, that's a blush. So yeah, I'm gonna use these and see what I think of everything. I mean, I already have a pretty good clue that I love it, but you know, we'll be thorough for the sake of a review. So yeah, you guys are gonna see me in just a second with my final thoughts, but in reality, it will be a few days from now. All right, you guys, so it's been a couple of days and I've had more time to play with these products and I feel confident in my ability to give a review at this point. So let's go ahead and get started with that. The eyeshadow palette. I have used every single shade, which honestly, I don't know if I've ever done that before a review. Which now that I'm saying that out loud, that is ridiculous. In order to actually give a review of a product, I should be familiar with how all of it works, not just bits and pieces, right? So I can confidently say that this is one of the best eyeshadow palettes that I can remember purchasing in recent history. I adore this. Manny has a solid formula. These mattes are beautiful. They blend so well. I didn't experience any patchiness or skipping, no balding. I guess those are probably all interchangeable terms. The application was very smooth. They blew out really nicely. No issues. Okay, and then with the shimmers, these shimmers are great. It's maybe like one of my absolute favorite shimmer formulas is probably from Glamlight. These aren't that level, but they're close. They're good. I loved every look that I've come up with this palette. I know at the end of look number 3, I was like, I need to try these grays. They made me uncomfortable. I was nervous about it. Gray is a tone for me that it's just not my vibe. It is not my vibe. I'm not into it. I'm wearing it today. Okay, I'm gonna come a little bit closer so you guys can see. This is the look that I came up with. For this look, I have Rose Thorn, this beautiful mauve matte. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I use this as my transition shade, and then I deepened up the outer V with Smoke. These two play so well together, so well. I was able to blow this up into my crease and just kind of create that more like elongated eye shape, and I really love it. And then I have Starry Eyed on the outer portion of my lid. Oh, it's so pretty. It is so pretty. And then I've got Flare on the inner portion, just because I felt like this was going to be maybe a little intense for just a random Wednesday at the office, right? So for look number, I think it was look number 3 maybe, when I put adamantium all on the center of my lid, I layered it on top of gold dust, which you wouldn't think that these two shades would like layer well together. It was incredible. It's one of those formulas that like the longer you wear it, the more it just kind of like they melt together. They just, I don't know the science behind it. They're probably not really melting together, but they just create this effortless sort of look. And I adore it. I want every single palette that he's come out with. I don't normally have like that collector's mentality, but I might now. I might for this brand. Yeah, definitely love the eyeshadow palette. I feel like if you were on the fence about it, you should absolutely go get it. It is very, very good. It's only $48, which I know, I mean, that's not like affordable, but it's not high by any means. I truly think that he could charge more, and I would buy them. So they're good. Now the blush palette, I have not used every shade. Okay, kill me. No, don't. I want to live. I have used 4 of the 6. I used this one, this one, this one. This is the shade I have on today, which that like blew me away. I thought it was going to be garish and just too much, but it's not. It's really pretty. I could have used this one today, but it was just a little bit too warm, I think. I don't know. And this one, Soleil, this shade right here, it's shimmery. And I just have to be in a certain kind of mood for a shimmery blush. So that's why I haven't used that one yet, but I do fully intend to. Of the shades that I have used, I have very high hopes that the rest of the palette is going to perform just as well, because the 4 shades that I have used are fantastic. What is happening? I'm sorry. Just a minute. Okay. You guys, my postpartum bangs. It's too much. I don't know what to do. And it doesn't want to lay flat. It just wants to do what it wants. Anyways, back to the makeup. What was I going to say? Okay, so the formula. Let's talk about the formula. These are pigmented. Okay, they're definitely not like one of those blushes where you put it on and you're like, did I do anything? Like, you know, you've put it on. But it blends so effortlessly. That's the thing. That is the thing about his products. These are effortless. You don't have to be a super talented makeup artist to get them to work for you, and I appreciate that. I think they're gonna work for a wide range of skill levels. So, yeah, this is beautiful. I thoroughly enjoy this. This is definitely hyped up, and it is worth all of the hype, truly. So yeah, I'm not gonna say you need these, but I highly recommend them. That's what I'm gonna say. I highly recommend them. So yeah, that's where I'm at with these 2 products from Lunar Beauty. If you guys enjoyed the video, I hope that you give it a thumbs up, subscribe before you go, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.